left this bizzle with God over money. You in the field with the track star.
Yeah, back in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Now, we haven't done this thing called Noteworthy in a little while, but we've been getting some notes recently, so we want to make sure we get to them at some point for you guys. Because I love Noteworthy, man. I really want you guys to continue sending them in, because you guys get to such interesting topics. So this one we got a little while ago. It's a real quick one, so I think we can get to it and really give them a good solution. All right, this one is called Aspiring Artist. Ready? It said, hey guys, I feel like lately God has been telling me that I need to pursue my passion for Christian music. However, my mom thinks that's a road that leads to an abyss. I just want to know from you guys' experience how you knew God wanted you to do what you guys do. Also, how do I even get started with getting my music out there? Aspiring Artist. What you think? Ryan?
Is that short?
Huh?
Did we cut that short?
That was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that. I'm like, nah. How do you get started? Go ahead, Ryan. See what
I'm curious to know why the two label mates and label owner are asking me about music and how to get started. Which is
get going with this thing, man.
Yeah, how do you do it? You had an artist before? You registered artist before?
Oh, now that's true. Okay. So yeah, going back to those days, man, when I first found a young man that I wanted to pour some time into and felt like I could help disciple. You have to first be a fan. You know what I mean? Be a fan of your own music. Be a fan of who you are. Be a fan of what you are getting ready to bring to the table. And make up your mind about who you are and what you're going to do. Because one of the biggest things, man, no one can stand a fake artist. You have to be sincere. You have to be genuine. Know who you are and know what you're going to represent and know what you're bringing to the table, because those are all important key elements of being a success in any industry. You know what I mean? In any genre. So, what's up?
I think we're missing the big part of this. His mama told him that this is a waste of time. Christian music is a waste of time.
So go secular.
That's the real problem here.
Yeah, okay.
I got the same thing, because he's asking, how'd you guys know you're supposed to do this? Because it is not lucrative. Okay. It's not like we balling out of control in here. So that to me is a real problem. How do you know you're supposed to do this Christian music thing when it's not like popping like that? Well, how do you know you're supposed to do it? Because I got the same thing. My dad was like, you want to do what? You better go to college and get a job.
Yeah.
And I had to. That's what I did.
Well, now here's the thing I would say, okay, so because I'm a college admissions advisor, I'm always talking about passion for your paycheck, right? Selling your passion in order to do your paycheck, in order to get a paycheck. And I think what you have to know is that you will not probably make any money in this industry. That just has to be something that you're okay with.
That's not possible. How do you do a job where you don't make money ever? How do you do it?
Because it's a ministry.
But how do you live?
How do you live? I'm telling him to go to school.
So he wants to live off of it. He doesn't want to work.
Most people who say they want to do Christian music intend to do this as their job. That's what they go into it. Everybody, we did, you did, all of us did.
Yeah.
So what's the real? How do you do this when his mama said you wasting your time, but God is calling him to this? How do you do this?
All right. So a lot of times people talk about an overnight success, right? And Steve Harvey, someone I think of highly as a person that has credibility in anything he says about, you know, music or this industry or comedy or whatever. Entertainment is not done overnight. Overnight success is really about 15 years in the making. So if you look at it, Track Stars is 7 years right now. So we literally should not be able to do this thing full time until 15 years comes into pass. What are you going to do leading up to your 15th year? You've got to do something. And you may be smart enough and you may be clever enough to be able to find ways around that 15 years. You can speed that up. Lecrae certainly did. So you can speed up what you're doing in order to live out your passion. And I think that's where Track Stars is right now. We are speeding up that 15 years and saying, you know what can we do? What's the extra that we can do? Who can we bring on board to help us get there faster? And that's what you have to do. You have to look at it and say, okay, I know that this is not going to be overnight success. I know I can't just quit my job tomorrow and expect to be able to live through this industry. But what you have to do is build upon it. But you know what I would say? Life experience, man. Having a job, doing something you don't like to do, you know, that's how you grow. That's how you learn. That's how you are bred to survive. And so when you do something that you don't want to do and you tolerate it, it makes it so much easier when the no's come your way and the rejection comes your way. You just have tougher skin. So I would say definitely look at it as this is something you want to do, but it may not be what you're able to do right now.
Let me rewind real quick. All right. We're going to use Lecrae. Lecrae, I saw something with a guy that was with them. He's still with them, but he was really with them when they came out. This was like 2002. And Lecrae, of course, him and Lecrae was doing, the guy named is BJ. I forgot his last name. Him and Lecrae, he would preach, and Lecrae would go to detention centers. And this was like years ago. This was like I said, 2002. They would do it. They met Ben Washer there. Ben Washer, who is partners with Lecrae with Reach Records, they end up coming out with an album. So now, from 2002 to I would say about Rebel, which is 2008. Those are the times when nobody knew. You knew who Lecrae was, but you didn't know who Lecrae wasn't Lecrae who he was today. So the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is, for some people, it may take overnight success. It may happen. You may start rapping, and you may end up getting a deal by the end of the year. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Or it may be something where you're going to have to, God is really going to give you that Joseph experiment, what I call it, where it's like you in those trenches for a couple years and then it happens. I mean, for us, that's our story. You know what I'm saying? God is doing stuff now, but I mean, it's been years when we went from college radio to recording at Sean Tanner's house to now being in the studio, or then even going to AM station, and you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff to look at. And then also you really want to think about what your mom's saying. She's not lying to you. It's one of those things where it's like, you really want to do this, and she's not doing it to be a hater, quote unquote. She's doing it because she's concerned about you, loves you, and wants to make sure that you are being the man that God's called you to be and doing the right thing so you can have a family, a wife, and you know what I mean? Like, you know, so I would say, first off, the number one thing you need to do, after all I said, number one thing is pray, ask God, what do you want me to do? Is this what you want me to do full time? Should I do this part time? You know what I mean? When I get off of work, if it's really late, should I be working on music, or you know what I mean, or whatever? I mean, because it don't sound like he's married or anything like that. So that's a plus for him, honestly. And then the second thing is, once you get that confirmation from God, run out and do it. You know what I mean? I think everybody in this room, like Sean Tanner is a technician. He's an engineer. He knows how to run sound. He knows how to mix. He knows recording. He knows how to do everything. But he also raps as well, besides being a radio personality. You know, Ryan Righteous. I don't know what else Ryan does because. Yeah. All right. So, but at the end of the day. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? You may have to have multiple hats on, honestly. You may have to learn how to record yourself. You may learn how to do other stuff. And then doing those things may help you fund what you want to do. So that's what I was saying.
Man, you can say what I do, just don't talk about the illegal stuff.
All right, so here's the real, man. We all got jobs, like Jeremiah said. Deontay is an actor, and he's in school, you know, doing production and directing and all kinds of stuff. What we're basically trying to say is the mainstream industry is kind of like pre-set up for you to where if you want to make money, there's a path to make money in mainstream. Everybody that's making money in Christian hip-hop is figuring it out. There's no path right now. Lecrae is figuring it out. So everybody's goal is to be able to do this full time. Some people are all about the money. Some people are not about the money and they're poor. So it's like you kind of got to be in between, where it's like, this is all, the only reason we do this is for ministry. The only reason we need money is so we can do ministry. If you are doing ministry to make money, then you have a problem. If you're doing ministry and you're not making money, that's a problem. And if you're just doing stuff to make money and you're not doing any ministry, that's the problem. So that's where some people are somewhere in there, whoever you are. What we're trying to figure out with Christian hip-hop is we want the ministry to be this sole focus. But, unfortunately, you have to make money. So the way we figured out how to be able to do this show, and a lot of people, your favorite artists that are doing Christian hip-hop, is they figured out how to either work part-time or full-time and do this on the side as much as possible. Take vacation days to go travel and do shows and all that kind of stuff. And there's a breaking point where you got to figure out where you got to pick up some other talent. Like, a lot of these artists are photographers. They do photo shoots. They do weddings because it keeps them flexible so they can still do shows, but they're not tied to a desk. Some people produce, some people, whatever, something that's flexible. I'm not in a flexible situation. I got a 9-to-5. So it's a little bit difficult for me to pull all this off. But the goal is there's a break-even point where I can possibly get to be able to do this full time. So everybody's trying to figure this out. Lecrae has had some success where he can put out a record and that could cover his bills. But there's not a lot of people who could do that, even in mainstream right now. So just know that this is a hard road that you're trying to get into, and there's just some honest things. I mean, we could sugarcoat it for you. You have to be good, you have to be patient, and you have to be diligent, and you have to be genuine. Because if you're not a real Christian, you're gonna get found out. If you're not patient, people are gonna pass you. And if you're not good, you're just not going to work. So you just got to be honest with yourself and figure out if you fit those criteria.
I think also you need another fourth thing is network. I think, honestly, for us, and I don't know if you guys agree, but I say after, we were not the networkers.
No, we weren't.
We were not the networkers at all. People would hear about us probably from Lon Falon or whatever, but we were not the networkers. We end up getting people who can help us with that. And now is a difference. Now we're invited to certain things and talking to people and stuff just because we had people who was good at that and helped us. But I would also say networking with the list that Shantana gave, because without networking with people, they don't know who you are.
Yeah, you gotta be connected to other people.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's good that we weren't good at that. We're not self-promoters. We're not good at self-promoting. But we have...